It's time for To the Max Sports, where we talk about sports. They're just two guys, Max and Drew, in a bar talking all things sports. Well, without the bar. And the beer. Wait, why aren't we in the bar?
Hello, and welcome to the Max Sports. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for To the Max Sports. Got Carlos back in the house.
Yeah, man. Thank you
Good
guys
to
for
see
having
you,
me
brother.
back.
Got a few things we're going to talk about.
Wearing his A&M colors, hoping for a new coach.
Yeah, something like that,
And I'm telling you, they got to do something. Well, we're going to cover the NFL, of course. Give our picks. So stick around till the end of the show. A little college football excitement we had with the Notre Dame game. That was very entertaining.
Yeah, what do you do? I mean, do you get to keep your job after you only put 10 people on the field for that play?
Well, we'll talk about that. That was a tease, Bob. In this industry, we call this a tease. We don't jump right into the discussion.
I don't want to think about you and the word tease in the same sentence.
And then we got a little baseball news.
Yep.
I'm going to start off because we don't have our monitors, but this happened a couple weeks ago. I didn't talk about it, but man, don't piss off angry, drunken Bengal fan. We've got the video, and we're going to show it on our feed, but dude just gets up. He's drunk. A lesson in minding your own business. Another fan gets in his face.
No. That other fan is not getting in his face. That other fan is maybe saying some words, but
close
that drunken moonshiner went after that guy.
When you get a drunken moonshiner, even if he's handcuffed, don't get close enough. Don't get close enough where he can reach you in any shape or form.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for all you fans in Cincinnati. That guy ain't from Cincinnati. He's from someplace where the roads aren't paved.
He's from Kentucky, which is right down the road. He's down from what we used to call the hollers.
Yep.
Down and so we just talked about it. Bob's probably going to put the feed.
Yeah,
up
it's already
right
been up there.
now.
Yep.
And
No,
I
already played it, and now
I don't know. I love that kind of stuff, man. That dude should sign up for WWE, man. He's got to do something, man.
Yeah, we should have like a whole league full of, teams where they have their fans fighting each other, for the right, for the dignity.
That's almost as good as I wish I would have told you before the show. Did you hear about the F-15 jet that crashed?
No. Oh, the Marine plane? No, the
Marine
F-35.
plane.
Yeah.
And it would disappear, and they were asking for the public. They had this guy on that it flew over his house, and he described the sound, and it's literally becoming an overnight
Another
meme sensation. Bob, I was thinking maybe you can pull it up sometime, and we can use that. If you get a chance to see this, just pull up guy describing F-35 crash. It is freaking hilarious.
I mean, that comedy just writes itself as the Marine Corps issues a press release. Can you help us find our plane?
Yeah, how do you lose a plane out there?
Well, that's what a congressman wrote. They Twittered, how in the freak do you lose a plane? I mean.
Well, it really speaks volumes to that radar evading stealth technology.
That's scary if the stuff doesn't, obviously we give our military secrets. Oh, our planes don't work in thunderstorms. Yeah. That's good news for the enemy. Anyway, going back to sports, football, let's go around the NFL. What about that arse whipping? Your Miami, who you predicted would be in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And I lost my Super Bowl chances 34 seconds into the season when I took the Jets. But anyway, having said that, wow, what a beatdown.
Good God. That's like a college score right there.
No, that was worse than a college score.
The fact that they got to put in, the backup quarterback and they got to tell him that, hey, we're going to take it easy on them at the end. They could have set a record too, which is kind of crazy to think about. If they would have scored a field goal, they would have had the record. I think it was like 73. I think the record right now is 72.
But they brought in the JV squad.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, and Waddle didn't even play.
Yeah, they had I don't know if you know Robbie Anderson. He changed his name to Chosen Anderson.
Yep.
I guess he's the chosen one in that moment. But he scored a touchdown.
I mean, I think Mike McDaniel was calling Roger Goodell like halfway through the third quarter, going, "Hey, can we sub in our practice squad?
Yeah, that was
I saw the score and I was like, did basketball season start already? Was that?
No, that was. I mean, talk about an embarrassment to Sean Payton. Yeah, I mean, you talk about tarnishing your reputation.
We'll go back about 3 or 4 tapes. I said that I thought Peyton's a little overrated as a coach. I think they gave up way too much for him. And I also said in that show that I thought Denver would be a lottery pick this year, meaning top 5. And nothing's changed my mind other than the Bears, who they may get a win and are favorites.
Oh, my God, yeah, that line going into this weekend. The Broncos are going to go on the road to Soldier Field after a 50-point beatdown, and they're a 3.5-point favorite. If you're a Bears fan, how do you feel about your team?
Well, I mean, if you're the Bears, you gotta plaster that up on the chalkboard and say, we are dogs in our own house against a team that just lost by 70 points. Men, can we go out there with a little pride today?
Yeah.
No, they can't.
And the biggest thing, too, is like the Denver Broncos, they have their own little turmoil with Sean Payton, talking a little trash, Nathaniel Hackett's probably like, laughing at him now. But even like in Chicago, they're kind of going through a little bit of turmoil. You have Justin Fields calling out the offensive coordinator, the wide receivers. There was a ransack of Soldier Field. Like, people were stealing, actual equipment from the stadium.
Yeah, I saw that. Insane.
For Justin Fields, just go out there, play ball,
I guess Justin Fields has proven the point that he doesn't like outdoor stadiums and doesn't like the cold or whatever. But that's a shit show. Yeah. And it's kind of funny going full circle, going back to Hackett. Maybe Peyton was right because the Jets offense is just, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, even with that scrub they got at quarterback, they did sign Trevor Siemian, I saw.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We actually, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned it here, but we knew going into the season that offensive line was suspect. The only thing saving that offensive line going into the season was Aaron Rodgers under center. And you lose Aaron Rodgers, who is going to be your quarterback, your offensive coordinator, and a whole bunch of your whoopee.
Yeah.
No, it's showing exactly. You can't run behind it. You can't do anything behind it.
Did you see the jawboning on the sideline?
Yeah, all that stuff is just not a good sign.
I'll tell you, the worst thing is when, one thing about NFL players, especially NFL legends, they're very reticent to call out other professional athletes. And Joe Namath just lit into Zach Wilson's arse, man. Did you hear about that?
Joe Namath is still alive?
Joe Namath, and looking good. I think he's had some work done. Did you see the interview?
No, I did not see that.
Namath just said, I've seen enough. This guy's terrible. He shouldn't be starting. I guess on the first play I missed it, Zach Wilson fell on his butt not to get sacked. No one even touched him.
Nope. Yep. No one touched him.
Oh, and Namath, that's when Namath went off. He said after that play, I've seen enough. The guy's got to go.
Yeah, so it was a bad weekend. Though, worst weekend, if you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, it's funny because when you all texted me to come in, I was like, oh, man, this is gonna be a really rough one. I'm just going to sit over here on this
side.
How
about them Cowboys?
Well, and I'm gonna walk back a little bit in my comments. I didn't realize that McCarthy ain't calling all that well inside the red zone. He gets up to the 20, advances the ball, and once it gets inside the 20,
yeah,
that's been a perpetual 10-year problem for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. There was a very crucial moment, like somewhat, halfway into the third quarter. They're kind of close to the red zone, or they're in the red zone. It's a 4th and 3. Instead of just kicking the easy field goal, you make it, I think it was going to be it was a 6-point game at that point. It's 3 points. Instead, they, don't get the conversion. They give the ball to the Cardinals. The Cardinals end up going and scoring a field goal on that drive. Now instead of a 3-point game, it's a 9-point game. And that's just my classic Mike McCarthy giving in to the Dallas Cowboys mantra of we got to win these games. We got to win these games. You just got to, just take the points. Your defense isn't, at that point, the defense is getting ran over all day. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the only
Cardinals. By the Cardinals.
Exactly.
But
Mike, you just got to kick the field goal. I've seen him do this the last couple of years. very questionable calls, and it's just, what are you doing in that moment? I just feel like that's his ego, and he just has to be this super offensive guru that everybody thinks, that we all think he is, but he's really not. He's been hiding behind Aaron Rodgers for like 15 years in Green Bay, but
I've always felt, and I'm a big proponent of, when you're on the road, you take the points. Take whatever points you can get on the road, especially be it field goals, But it's typical Cowboys. When are they going to start blaming the loss on losing? Who was the defensive back they lost?
Trayvon Diggs. That was the most Cowboys loss ever.
I always love the Cowboy fans, and I'm surprised I haven't heard it yet. Well, if Diggs had played, they would have won, or
possibly, but you can only play with the players you have on the roster.
I'm saying that's that the Cowboys always revert back to, if so and so had played, they would have won, which is amusing because you do play with what you got on the roster.
I mean, segueing into really interesting fourth down calls. What about that Chargers call, fourth down and short to go in your own side? You don't make it, and you get bailed out by Kirk Cousins.
Well, the reason you do that is because of Kirk Cousins. I was telling Bob, 375 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he loses.
He's been playing out of the realm of what we think Kirk Cousins is. We always say Kirk Cousins is like this game manager, but
no,
he's been slinging.
I don't.
He's been slinging it around, and I just felt like at the end they had a timeout. They should have used the timeout, gathered themselves, but that was just a bad throw from Kurt on the end.
I've been incredibly consistent on Kirk Cousins. He's going to play good for 3.5 quarters. He's going to rip your heart out
find a way to lose.
Show it to you. Yeah, it's just incredible.
I'm over the guy. He's leading the league in passing in 0-3.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Essentially, the
Bengals answered some questions. Hard-fought, ugly victory against L.A. I actually think L.A. is going to beat Baltimore this week, but
maybe the Rams aren't as bad as I thought they were going to be going into the season.
Well, you had said they got a lot of young players that seem hungry and motivated.
Yeah, I mean, what we're talking about for the Rams is they've been cleaning house over the last couple of years. They're getting rid of a lot of their big-name players, and they don't have maybe necessarily a cap space to pay some of these guys. So a lot of the guys that are playing for them right now are in their rookie year or their second year, and, that's great for the Rams because they've always done very well with late-round draft picks, and they develop them and they trade them for more assets, for better players. So it's something that Sean McVay has kind of done for quite a while, the organization. But, a lot of young players finally getting a chance to play, and, they're playing very well.
And, Burrow's dropped back, I think, 49 times. Jamar had a big game. So maybe they're on the right track. Speaking of a team that snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, what about New Orleans and Green Bay game? Wow.
Wow. Very much wow.
I mean, New Orleans had that thing in hand, and then I think when Carr went down, it just kind of changed the whole dynamics of the game.
Yeah, and
obviously.
For me, really, it was just, you think about in the offseason, the Broncos traded for Will Lutz, who was the kicker for the Saints for a very long time. Now they don't have him. They got a young kid on the road kicking, so, it makes sense. Just, I felt like the kickers were kicking on Sunday very well, and then I saw that, and it was just like, those are the kickers we know about. But now it's Jameis Winston. Can Jameis Winston do enough to possibly end up in New York? Would you rather have Jameis Winston or Trevor Siemian right now, or Zach Wilson is, I guess, what I would ask.
I mean, I probably.
Am I serving crab legs for dinner?
Oh, I'm sure we can get that on the East Coast.
I mean, Jameis can bring it with him.
Yep, he can bring those W's with him, But I just think that could be.
He's another interception-prone quarterback, though, and weak offensive line. I'm with Namath. They have to do something. I just don't know what they do.
I just think, I looked at Geno. Remember, we kind of wrote off Geno. I mean, we kind of see Jameis as this highly talented player, somewhat still. And I think he'd be an upgrade over Zach Wilson or a Trevor Siemian. I don't think you're going to find someone better. Jameis at least will be able to throw it. We don't know
I
who's
mean,
going to
But
throw
then
to.
you don't know the
etc.,
status of
but-
Carr, though,
Yeah.
so you still need
Yeah,
it.
and I mean, it's a really good thought process. My worry for anywhere Jameis goes. I mean, one of the things that got Geno reinvigorated was that staff there,
Yeah.
and giving him
Zen
the
Master
opportunity to
Pete
succeed.
Carroll.
Yeah.
Is Jameis going to have a situation where he can have somebody that can be a quarterback whisperer? Because I think absent that, I think Jameis just being Jameis, I don't think he's going to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, I just think we're talking about scenarios that are unrealistic as long as teams are in
Still in the play,
contention,
yeah.
like New Orleans, like Denver, like the Cowboys. And the problem is, by the time they start fielding calls for quarterbacks, the Jet
Might be too
season's
late in the
lost.
season,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
it's a lost season for them. I mean, there's no getting around it. What else went on this weekend in football that was interesting?
Taylor Swift and
Oh,
the
yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs. They beat down the Bears, but once I saw that Taylor Swift was going to be at the game, I knew it was going to be a guaranteed Travis Kelce touchdown. And there's a rumor that she'll be there on Sunday night when the not so good Jets go against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't mind if we're being punked by all this, that this is a total send-up. This is part of Taylor Swift's
There's a
media
conspiracy.
blast with her documentary and everything else going on, and the Kelsey Brothers podcast. I think we might be being punked, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, there's a little suspicion. His jersey sales have gone up. He's got I don't know how many different new followers. And Taylor Swift is apparently a renowned Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Well, to me, it's kind of the Dennis Rodman effect. He was really not known or flamboyant or out there or selling jerseys
he's
until.
like a rock star.
And
now,
then when he dated Madonna, she said, basically, hey, the way you make it in this world is market yourself. And shortly thereafter, that's when he started with the colored hair, the tattoos, the outrageous behavior. So.
And you know who's winning in this? Mama Kelsey.
Oh,
Mama Kelsey.
imagine you're just at the game and Taylor Swift sits right next to you. I mean, we're all Taylor Swift fans, whether we know it or not. We know the song.
I wouldn't know the lady if she hit me across the face.
Yes,
but
you would.
She's pretty tall. She'd make you feel pretty inferior for sure.
I'm not going to say anything negative because I might lose viewers.
Yep, we might lose some Swifties out there.
I don't want
no
that. I
worries.
love Taylor Swift. Come out wherever you are. Come to every game. It's good for the NFL.
Yeah, though
They did say that. I'm sorry to interrupt, Bob.
No, go ahead.
They did say that the viewership was down in all areas except for women between the ages of 18 and 40 or something.
Yeah.
So
See, that's the
bringing
other
in
thing
the-
about I think we might be getting played. I think Kelsey is in cahoots with Goodell and Taylor Swift to bring more fans to the NFL.
You know they love this.
Yeah.
Goodell's probably saying, "Hey, whatever I need
The
to do to
ratings
make
have
this,
never been better.
yeah, whatever I need to do to make this relationship work."
Though I am going to say this, apparently this all started when Kelsey made the comment, I saw Taylor Swift rock Arrowhead. Taylor, come see me rock Arrowhead. Jennifer Lawrence, I saw you rock Pan Am. Come to our studio and see how we rock this studio.
That's right. Who do I like? God, see, I got to go back because I'm dated. Who was the girl in Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Phoebe Cates?
Still love Phoebe Cates. Phoebe
Okay.
Cates, if you're listening, come on. Grab a. Sorry, Carlos, you're out. Phoebe Cates, you're in.
Hey, for you, Phoebe, anything.
Okay.
That's how old I am.
So moving on.
Moving on. Did you watch the Ohio State Notre Dame game?
Yes, I did.
Did you watch Ryan Day? Did you watch Ryan Day go off at the end with the interview about Lou Holtz and screaming?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, man! Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
I guess Lou Holtz has called out Ohio State for their toughness, and Ryan Day just went berserk during the interview after the game, calling out Lou Holtz, and I guess there's a big to do, but they pulled it off. I'm still not, being a Buckeye through and through, I'm still not convinced that we can beat Michigan this season. I think Michigan's just overloaded with their quarterback and running back and just a talented defense. But, hey, we pulled out a win on the road And it was a great game.
Yeah, it really was. Just old school, just smash mouth, up and down. It was great. It was just a great game to watch. And, if not for a couple of miscues,
Typical. Notre Dame reminds me a lot of the Cowboys. They always find interesting ways to lose close football games.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Did you watch the game, Bob?
No.
It was entertaining.
No.
I will probably watch the Notre Dame Duke game.
Yeah, that one's going to be, I think, a little bit better than it has been in years past. Who
would have thought we'd be talking about Duke football?
Duke football made an appearance.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, there was a lot of really good college games. There's a lot of blowouts, unfortunately. I know, UTSA got blown out by Tennessee, but the blowout, I kind of wanted to ask you guys about was Oregon, Colorado. Dion prime time. They go in.
I think the
little taste of reality. Really,
Time to get brought down to earth and realize why you were 1-13 last year. But
1-11, 1-11. But I mean,
you can't understate what he's done to the program. It's just now we see where they're at compared to comparable competition within that conference. And it's obvious they're a good team, but they got a long way to go.
Yep, very true. Very true.
But yeah.
Yeah, then now they got USC this week. So
couldn't get any easier.
Yeah, I think it's Sanders versus Rice part. I don't even know what at this point because obviously Dion has his kids playing on the team, but Jerry Rice has his son playing for USC. So Shiloh and him will meet at some point. They'll cover each other, and I think that'll be really fun to watch. It'll
be fun to watch the old heads kids out there.
Yep.
Running around playing against each other.
USC is favored by 21.5.
I'd probably take that to cover. Are they at home?
Really?
USC?
Yeah,
no.
USC is at home, I believe.
Nope. It's in Colorado. It's at Boulder.
Okay.
I'd still probably take
It's up at altitude.
USC, their quarterback's, he's a beast.
We'll see. We'll see.
Bob, you should move to Vegas.
Yeah.
And
I'm better than a monkey.
Forego your porn star career and just be a professional handicapper. You're 9-1. And I've given you 2 extra points because twice you've
taken the dog for the outright win.
Yeah, 9-1. I'm 4-4. Carlos, you're basically even from last week.
Yeah.
Let's go over. So you guys want to do some picks going into?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we got the Thursday night game tonight.
You probably don't want to hear what we have to say, but listen to what Bob picks because he's
we'll see.
9-1 against the spread.
Tonight, Lions on the road in Green Bay, favored by 2.
It was 1.5 when I got it. I already booked the Lions. Lions win that game. I'm not totally convinced that Jordan Love won't have a meltdown at some point. He played okay.
Yeah.
But that was more the Jordan Love against New Orleans that I expected to see, and I expect more of the same. Give me Detroit. Give me I booked it at 1.5, but I'll still take Detroit -2 on the road.
Yeah, same here. Jared Goff's playing really well right now at a high level. The Packers still missing a lot of key players. They could be back on Thursday. I'm not sure how much they're going to play is a question.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's going to be Jordan Love right now. He looks a little off. And then now adding new guys, I don't know if that's going to make it any much better right now.
The Lions have to win this game. For organizational respect, they have to win this game. If they lose this game, it's going to be a middling season for them. It's a division that is right now in their hands to win. Yeah. If they win this game, I think they're in the driver's seat because the Bears ain't doing squat.
The Vikings
put down the Packers. The Vikings are going to do Viking things.
Minnesota will make a run, but it's probably too late at 0-3. Your chances of making the playoffs at 0-3 start are pretty much nil in this league.
Okay, so we're all in agreement on that one. Okay.
And then we got a Sunday morning game, don't we?
Yeah, out in London.
the only thing interesting about this game is the Toy Story simulcast on Disney Plus. That is the only thing that's going to make me watch this game.
You're not going to order up some fish and chips in the morning and.
No, because I don't like fish. I don't like fish, and we shouldn't be exporting like football to England. We should be exporting dentists and competent dental care.
Yeah, maybe some English teachers.
That's a bridge too far.
Bridge.
The land of Shakespeare.
There's some English villages where they have a community tooth. They just share it and.
Yeah,
on the day.
There we go. Okay, so the line on this one is Jacksonville's favored by 3.
And they are playing
in Wembley Stadium. The Jaguars are listed as the home team. Who cares?
And they're 0-3 in Wembley Stadium, by the way.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Who are they playing
really
again?
Don't care.
The
Falcons.
I love me my Falcons. Their defense, they stole a lot of my ex-Bengal guys.
Yeah.
And their quarterback is, again, he's a guy, oh boy, he drives me nuts. Ritter.
Desmond Ritter.
Yeah,
given the fact that for some reason Jacksonville doesn't like Wembley Stadium, give me the Falcons in +3. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, +3.
Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go the other route. I'm going Jacksonville. I'm going to say they break this Wembley curse. The biggest thing for me is they're coming off a really bad loss to the Houston Texans. That was a game they probably should have won. I expect Trevor Lawrence to bounce back. They need to get Calvin Ridley more involved. They need to do what the Bengals and Joe Burrow did and just start force-feeding him the ball. I mean, he just we've waited all this time to get him on the field, and, now you're not going to throw to him?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Can I bet on the alien creatures that they plucked out of the game in Toy Story? Because I really don't want to have to pick this game.
So tell me your whole Toy Story thing again.
What they're going to do is they're going to be tracking all the players in real time and mapping their movements and everything onto animated characters playing on a field in Andy's bedroom. Honestly, seriously, if this game wasn't done that way and you played it in my backyard, I'm closing the curtains.
I think it just gives an excitement. I know they did very well with that Nickelodeon slime game the last couple of years.
So yeah.
But see, it worked. It drew you in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think it's something too, maybe the kids will be up that early and you're watching the game and they don't know you're watching the game type of thing.
So now we're getting the NFL's genius. We're getting the kid demographic.
Yeah, starting them young.
From Swifties,
from 3 to 10, the Swifties.
Yeah. So give me the Jaguars. I'll lay the points.
Okay. And then our Sunday night game.
Sunday night game. This is going to be a barn burner. Chiefs on the road against the Jets. What are the odds that Simeon plays at some point in this game?
I actually got some breaking news.
What?
The Jets have reached out to Joe Namath to see if he's available.
Him and his walker. Okay. Chiefs are favored by 9.5 on the road in MetLife Stadium.
Well, I'm going to follow the same premise I told you all last week. If a team's getting close to double-digit points and they have no offense, take the other side. If they're getting double-digit points and they're capable of scoring, take the points. So, having said that philosophy, give me the Chiefs, and I'll give the 9.5.
Yeah, same. Just same.
I don't know exactly what the stat is, but Mahomes and the Chiefs aren't really good about covering lines.
That's true.
I mean, historically.
And I thought about that.
They are definitely a team, and I think this is one of those games where they're just going to go, we just need to go in and get the job done. We don't need to humiliate anybody. I think there's maybe a late cover on this. Give me the Jets and the points. not the Jets to win outright at all. I'm not going out on that.
But see, you forgot about the Swiftie effect. So, Kelsey's probably going to score 3 touchdowns, and he's going to play hard. for his new girlfriend.
He's okay. I'm not going to go with. I'm not going to follow that comment about how he's going to play. Okay, our final game, the Monday night game. This is a pick'em game, gentlemen. The Seahawks going west to east to play the Giants at MetLife Stadium. It's a pick'em, and I have no idea.
New York's getting a lot of love so far in these, Sunday night games, Monday night games. I feel like we're constantly at MetLife, but I'm going to start off. I'm taking the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks on offense right now, they're clicking. Geno looks good. Kenneth Walker is running really well. They haven't even gotten Jackson Smith and Jigba involved, and I think this could be potentially a game where he scores too. But the Giants have just looked horrible on offense. They've looked horrible on defense.
Well, one quarter against the Cardinals, they looked okay.
Well, I mean,
and the Cardinals beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, thanks. No, but in essence too, I'm not sure if Saquon will play. And even with Saquon, I'm still taking the Seahawks. I don't know what the over/under for points is.
47.5, which is kind of high.
Yeah,
seems high to me.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks. The problem with the Giants for me, my feelings on Daniel Jones. When I bet the Giants, he shits the bed. When I bet against him, he plays like a Super Bowl quarterback. So I'm hoping he channels Zach Wilson in New York and lays an egg. Give me Seattle to cover in a pick'em.
Hope is not a strategy. I'm going to go with the Giants at home. I kind of don't like the Seahawks. I never have liked the Seahawks. Being a 49ers fan, I have to not like the Seahawks. I think they're a bunch of thugs. Even though Carroll's a good coach and done some good things with Geno, I just don't.
Yeah,
I don't like that west to east travel for a team that I really think is in the middle of the league. So give me the Giants at home.
Okay, and kind of ironically, didn't Geno used to play for the Giants?
He might have been there for about a week or two, but it was really mostly
the Jets.
It was the Jets. Yeah, he was.
I think he was a backup for the Giants
Geno and the
at
Jets.
some point.
Might have been.
Probably gave him a call or something.
Yeah. So there we go, man.
Yeah, that's all we have.
So that's the week. So
Yeah.
apparently I'm going against you guys. It looks like a little bit on this one.
But you're not picking anyone outright.
No, it's a.
I'm feeling comfortable.
I mean the Lions are going to win that game against the Packers.
Yeah. So guys, if you're
The
out
Chiefs
there,
will win outright, but
yeah.
they're not going to cover.
If
Who
you're out there, you
cares?
might want to write down Bob's picks. He's 9-1 against the spread.
So this may be the week I lay the egg.
You never know. Well, one thing we don't do on this show is lay eggs, but we do everything else. Hit that like and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Until then, OH, IO.